What is up, YouTubers? We are back with another episode of our 6D journey. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for checking it out today. If you feel the need to press the subscribe button, it's always helpful. Thank you. If you want notifications of new videos coming out, hit the bell. There's actually options now where you can personalize or put all of them. That just happened. I realized it yesterday. So this video is going to be a bit of a combo video, because I started the video one day. I hadn't taken psychic calls in 3 or 4 weeks. Uber had been doing really good, work was really good, and I took psychic calls for the first time, 5 or 6, and I found myself getting so frustrated, and it's because, let me tell you what happens. 95% of the calls that I get is someone calling about a relationship that either is broken beyond their measurable reason to fix it, or B, it's been over yesterday, over 5 years ago. Connection. There's this connection void that someone's having to a person, a lover. It's, again, 95% of them are lovers. They're lovers. And I made all this energy and all this video about the fatal flaws of relationships, because usually within just a few minutes of talking to these people, I discover either a flaw that's causing the relationship detriment that's them or the other person. I try to focus all my calls on the flaws of the people calling in, because so many people, when they get into relationships that are falling apart, something's not going well, go into victim mode, where they have to figure out why that person's being that way, and why they're not doing this, or why they're doing this, or blah, 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 blah. It's always them. And the thing is, I've said this so many times, and everyone knows this, you cannot change anyone. You can only change yourself. And this rule, because as I said, everyone knows this, I should make this a little clearer. You cannot change anyone. Like, you cannot change your children, you cannot change your parents, you cannot change your coworkers, you cannot change your friends, you cannot change the people on the road. You cannot change them. However, we are capable of changing ourselves. And so this video is now going to be a combo of the 4 fatal flaws and the 4 changes you can make within inside yourself. What are fatal flaws in relationships? Fatal flaw number 1, letter A. Not making up our minds is a really, really big thing that so many of us are, it feels like, working on to achieve some sort of solidarity in relationships. Because, like, I hear this all the time. Where they come in and they say, so, I told this person that I needed this, and they have not honored me. What should I do? And guys, the answer is, if you laid it out loud and it's not happening, you need to walk away. So change number 1 that you can make inside yourself is be flexible. Understand why the energy is there. What is it bringing to you? What is it teaching you? How is this helping you grow? How is this helping you find stability, not only in yourself, but in how you view and interact with others? Change yourself. That's all we have, is changing ourselves. And from what I've learned, and this is kind of a catch-22 or a paradox, is that once you change yourself, the energy you receive from this thing that's not working changes. How you receive it, how you process it, how you transmute it and put it back out, because we're always intaking and outtaking energy. Right? And in relationships, that's usually the issue. There's an energetic deficiency. And it can be viewed in a million of ways. You know, it can be physical, emotional, intellectual, political, financial, how you raise kids, all these things. Wait. So we have to keep in mind that all we have is how we are on the inside. Relationship uplift, relationship abundance, relationship change number 1 is be flexible and willing to change how you interact with the energy. That's all we got for now. That's all we got for now. Like, change is everything in relationships. Like, I think the problem that happens to so many of us is that when we succumb to be someone else for someone else, whether it be us copying parts of them that we like, or us changing things about ourselves because we know it suits them, maybe accommodating, like, at some point, if we give up too much of ourselves for other people and we don't stand our ground, we lose. We lose. And it's because you have to keep the relationship moving at all times. We're changing every single day. Okay, so if you start dating someone and they're like super fit and healthy and they eat good and they meditate, and then 6 months in, something happens and all of a sudden they're like, wow, this person's eating a lot of junk food and they're not moving and they're sad. Yeah. People change. And what happens is so many of us freak out when someone else is in the room. We're used to someone else being there. Like, so my thing right now, this video is a little bit scattered, but it's probably tied together, is we have to move and evolve at all times with our partner, with our friend, with our coworker, with our student, with our mother, with our father, with our child, you know, with people on the street. We are constantly changing, that's evolving and changing. We are evolving and changing every single day, guys. And the only person that's going to be well-rounded with you is someone who goes with it with you, or you'll have a flow of something that works. Like, you know, there are some people that I let them be snarky and sassy and XYZ, but other people around me I won't. Like, it's different for every person. And the point is, we have to establish relationship rules. Like, rules are everything. And then all the stuff that's not ruled, it can go into chaos. It's fine. Just the rules have to work. And here we are at, is it only 5:35? Oh, it's 6:35 on this glorious Sunday evening, getting YouTube 60, hour 60 journey back up and running. Oh, back up and running. Fatal flaw, my cat's going crazy. Number 2 is lying about who you are. Like, so let me give a really, really good, like, this is the real life example, okay? So, I don't like watching scary movies. I don't have that energy in my vortex. It ain't good for me. So, I kind of played along with my now fiance with, oh yeah, let's watch an occasional scary movie. It's fine, like, go do that. And the other day, I'm in this meditation, okay, it's in my ears, it's like binaural beats, like some super, like, awesome, they talk to you, guided meditation with lots of cool sounds. It was amazing. I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden in this meditation, inside the track, they did a closing of the door. Like, I guess it was like a symbol for, you know, meditation's now over. It was, you know, I'm sure some deep, thickening subconscious plot. Well, the point is, I knew that my fiance wasn't home. And I heard it from behind me. It's 3D meditation, right? I jumped up in my seat as if Michael Myers was in my house and I was about to die. All because I watched scary movies. Because when I watch scary movies, I find myself looking like in corners and is that there? Is that there? Is that there? Like, it's like it programs our mind for something that we don't need. And my point is that I had to stand up and go, you know what? No, I cannot do this. Like, no longer can I partake in this. Fatal flaw number 2. Lie about who you are. It messes things up. And then you have to explain yourself and go from the very beginning. So just don't. Okay, so relationship renovation, that's not what we're going to call them. Relationship renovation number 2 is being one step ahead of your partner's needs. I think the reason why I think this is so important, and we're not going to do it all the time, but there is a huge amount of blessing and fulfillment in getting gifts from people. People like to be given to, right? It can be a compliment like, wow, your hair looks really nice today. Or bringing them a Q-tip when they're about to get out of the shower so they don't have to squat down and get it themselves. Like that happened last night. We do it for each other, period. Like, usually what happened was whoever got out of the shower first would grab their Q-tip, and then we'd have two. Well, I took a shower by myself yesterday, and I get out of the shower, and there's a Q-tip on the counter. And I was just like, thank you. People like getting stuff, right? And it's fun to give. It's fun to give to people. So that's relationship renovation number 2, is being one step ahead of someone just for the sake of giving and being accommodating and welcoming. Right? That's what a good host does. We welcome. Fatal flaw number 3, always planning the schedule around other people's schedule. It should be half and half all the time. Half and half is really good. Number 3 came faster than number 2. Number 3 relationship renovation tip is being supporting. Being a supporting role. Being supportive. Being encouraging. Knowing what their goals are, and when you see them reaching towards them and achieving them, complimenting them and telling them how good they're doing. And if they're down and lost and not quite sure what their goal is that day, reminding them. Like, we all need these things. That's, I think, no man or woman, no human is an island. We're all part of a collective. There's an energy that we all share of suffering. There are these sufferings that happen to us, these curses, these payments that we have to make during our life. And they're in all different aspects of who we are, where we feel like we lose something. And the thing is, even though I might not be going through the pain or the grief of losing a loved one today, if you lose one, I've lost a loved one and I know what it feels like. It's that energy of support, because at some point, from what I'm understanding, I don't have proof conclusively of this, this is just me, is that anything that's happening to you either is, will, or has happened to me. Therefore, we should have compassion at all times for everyone, because even if you don't have personal experience, so you don't have the actual experience in this life to give that empathy, give the empathy anyway. Because that empathy is what makes it easier for us, like, not if it's happening now, if it happened before, but if we give the empathy now for something that hasn't happened to us and have the pure compassion for them as a person, guess what? When that thing shows up in our lives, if it does, we're assuming it does, it's going to show up. When it shows up, we're given the same grace that we handed out. Karma. Changing ourselves. Changing how we deal with it, right? By being supportive and encouraging. Renovation number 3. At this point in the story, I guess we're at fatal flaw number 4. Being overly prepared. When we overly prepare, we tend to over-expect, and then we get disappointed. And what I'm kind of finding now, as I search through myself and others, is that by the end of the day, I think most of us want to be held in some way, whether it be with emotional support or words of encouragement or physically cuddled. Like, we all are looking for comfort at the end of the day. Someone who hears us, understands us. So I guess fatal flaw number 4 would be not knowing yourself. Because if you do not know yourself, you cannot give yourself to someone else. So that's number 4. Relationship, renovation number 4. This is the hardest one. Before I even start, I'm already like, gotta work on this. Be open, receptive, non-judgmental to everything that shows up. I think that the longer we know someone, the more we see a complete picture of who they are. There's a complete package of each of us. And at some point, things show up we haven't seen before. You know, when anger shows up for the first time in a relationship, it can be startling. Startling. I felt startled. Like, because that's part of who they are, and the only way to have an open, honest connection of vulnerability and trust is to let the emotions out. Like, let them out. This is like the one place you have with someone is the individual space you carry together. When you're one-on-one and that's the energy you have, that's all you can give. And always be open to whatever they bring, because whatever they bring, at some point you might bring that same thing into the room. And now we're back to number 3, which is give what it is you want. All these tips are kind of the same thing, which is basically calm the F down. Like, people need to calm down. Relationships, I feel like so many of us get wrapped up in all the details of everything. Like, and again, any type of relationship, a lot of these come out of relationships with love and, you know, someone we're married to or dating or ex, but it's everybody. When people show up in our lives, we have no idea what they're going to bring that day. And it's our responsibility as evolving beings who want to ascend the collective consciousness of the planet up, to be open and receptive to all of it, and allow ourselves to fully feel and know that everything that's happening is happening for a reason. And if we would lower the energy and go, wait a minute, what am I feeling right now? If we all did that, we'd all feel really peaceful. This channel's changing a lot, guys. I don't even know where to take it. Like, we got places to go, people to see. Preparing a space is so much work. Like, I got out of the energy of tapping into my psychic message, to my intuition. I left it for a while. Got really lost and confused. I'm still in the woods of Lost, the enchanted forest of darkness. That seems to be from Frozen 2. I'm still there. But I'm feeling more comforted knowing that I'm not the only one alone. That multiple people and multiple groups, multiple societies are feeling something right now. We're not sure where we are. Our belief systems have been shattered. There's this huge, like, shift in energy, in vibration, in understanding. People seem to be understanding each other more. It took us a while to get there, guys. It took a while to get there. Uh-oh, that person came in.